Uh,
So I did good, but I haven't sure. No. So I'm doing I have one this year. Then I have a 6 days. The day because the still but election is this weekend, so the elections are kind of busy. Yeah. I'm like, I need to wait for elections for bias. So once I pick the day, I just change my flag and I put it in there.
yeah.
But she said, you can I'm like, yeah, I'm trying to. She said, I need to test it. I'm not trying to get it. That's what I think that's
What I guess if I was gonna ask you, who do you want to talk? Who's your ideal? What is that look like? Love those.
because even cost
Yeah.
no, if you plan ahead.
Yeah, a lot of like either food subscription can do payment plans.
Yeah.
So and as
Do that, was the last week made the first was in June. Like they were having for check.
yeah.
So that's one. And the other one is that since with the company that I'm with,
Yeah.
how they do too. My that I'm so the other, my other account is the one that I already traveled.
Yeah.
We got the work, but they can make applications of their own. They don't want to sell it, they can see it for themselves.
Yeah, yeah. Right. Okay.
So those are my two that I have worked.
Are there any type of like conventions or stuff like that, like talks about travel or something that you can go to?
Yeah. Was one of them because I just I did
We'll come back on. I'm sure you'll get nice. And it's one of those things too where you should find a so look for venues like that are like maybe smaller and see if you can work with the host and like, hey, can I do a little like seminar here, like how to book travel and stuff like that, and you can give the owner of the business the venue like a discount. And so like I want to show people how to book it if they've never done before, why they should, and so they can get out of it. Maybe a way to get make an event right for free and get some potential clients. Try it out.
yeah, things that I'm trying to work with coaches and companies. I just need a service. I can build the whole thing. The do that I do it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's because so the one in
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I'll try to see if I have some connects for you. I have a buddy who we used to do wedding photography together, but he's more in that space. I'll try to see. Let's talk after a little bit, and I'll figure out some stuff out. Okay?
Part of my life. I know. Not talk
So I have your presentation up. When we call you up, we'll bring it up,
Okay.
and then I will, of course, be timing you, and I think it'll be fine. Time content. But when you hit 5 minutes, I'll be in the back room with a 1 minute sign, and then when you hit 6, I'll have a stop.
I'm gonna turn on the
Yeah. That's And then Chuck, I know.
Simon, take a seat. Good morning. Good morning. Take a seat, please. I ended my trip that I just saw. Where'd you go? Ooh, that's cool. Good morning, everybody. I love the energy in here. Thank you for being here in the middle of summer. Was it easy to get here this morning with the school being out? Yes, yes. All right. Thank you for 1 minute to 1 million cups. My name's Miranda Kelly. I'm one of the organizers here. I focus on banking and finance. So if you have questions, you can come see me after. Since I haven't been here for a few weeks, I was on vacation. Can people who are here for the first time, can I please have you raise your hand? Excellent. All right. I'm going to pick up. How did you hear about us, sir?
I went to the William Myers town.
Nice. And they talked about it there?
Yes.
Fantastic. And here in the back, how did you hear about us?
I was cyber stalked with Kate Keith.
Right.
Who used to work at George Washington University. She moved down here and I'll move down here. I'm gonna find Kate.
Excellent. Well, they say admitting it's the first step to recovery, so we wish you luck. This is 1 million cups. This is a safe place for entrepreneurs. 1 million cups is headquartered through the Kauffman Foundation up in Kansas City. They started many, many years ago. And the thought was they wanted to encourage entrepreneurship. And they realized at the beginning that they really didn't understand what that meant. And so they created these safe spaces for us to talk about what entrepreneurship is in our communities. And why 1 million cups? They are hoping, we're all hoping that when 140 plus locations meet across the country in their respective time zones on a Wednesday, we're hoping that we're going to get to 1 million cups of coffee being drank. Bless you.
Thank you.
And so I'm just going to jump into our sponsors. One of our sponsors is Blind Tiger. And so if you don't have a coffee cup, I can't talk. Yeah. Grab one because it's the best coffee in town. The other sponsor is the building that we're in, the Entrepreneur Collaborative Center. And that's going to lead me, yes, woo, it's going to lead me into a couple of QR codes on your table. So the tabletop that's standing up QR code, that is for this building, the ECC. That will get you on a mailing list once every week, every 2 weeks on a Tuesday morning. You're going to get an email that just says, here are what the upcoming events are in the building. Why do you want that? Because if you're a serious entrepreneur, many of us get into this because of a passion for what we do, not because we know how to run a business. All the classes, I would say 95% of those classes are going to be offered to you at no cost or low cost. And that's because our tax dollars pay for it. So take advantage of the information, percolate information around to the other entrepreneurs. It is a solo journey and you're going to learn from each other. We are more critical of our thoughts in our head than we are of other people. And so when you hear other people going through it, maybe you have some compassion for yourself. With that being said, the other one on the table, that's for the Kauffman Foundation, that is our check-in. You didn't have to check in or write your name or email on there. If you could please do that QR code, they're not going to send you anything. It's just going to let them know that we're doing our job, bringing new people, bringing repetitive people. And if you come back after you've done it 3 times, then you're eligible for some swag. And if you get a notice on your phone there, we got somebody in the back holding up some swag, coffee cup, you're eligible. And you can see Cassidy or David, and they can get you that swag if you happen to be one of the lucky ones. Without further ado, oh wait, you know what? Before the further ado, Tori is our social media organizer, and she would love you to take some pictures here and tag us. If you do Facebook, it's Facebook.com/1 million cups. Instagram is at 1MCTPA. LinkedIn and YouTube are both 1 million cups Tampa. Take a picture of the presenters, tag them, tag their business name. Let's get the word out. Let's support each other. And let me call up our first speaker. The first presenter is going to be Roll for Fitness LLC, Emily Stein.
Okay.
Come on up.
Okay.
Everyone else.
Okay.
There you go.
Hi, everyone. My name is Emily Stein. So before we all start, can everyone just like put their phones down and just like get up and take the arms above their head? Yeah, you all need to stretch. We're all stiff. Just bring your arms up like this. Inhale and then reach over to the right. Oh, doesn't it feel nice? Yes, and then up and reach over to the left. See, you all need to stretch. That's what I'm here for. And come down. See, didn't that feel nice? I know. We all need to stretch more. So my name is Emily Stein. I'm representing Roll for Fitness. I'm a stretching and mobility specialist here in Tampa, Florida. I run Roll for Fitness, get it rolled, forward, roll on a ball, get it. I help people, especially women over 40, reduce pain, improve flexibility, and move better through personalized stretching sessions. We're kind of like the bridge between physical therapy and wellness, but more hands-on and practical for everyday life. So that's me, and that's me now. So my kind of story is, as a kid, my parents put me in every kind of activity you can think about. Dance, soccer, basketball, sports, anything to kind of get me moving, because I was a very active kid. So the big thing for me is that dance was introduced to me to body awareness and movement at a very young age. I was enrolled like 5 years old in ballet class. Best thing ever. And then when I moved to Tampa in 2012 after college, I was introduced to stretching and mobility work through a physical therapist that my parents were seeing. So I really became fascinated by how movement can improve quality of life. Through fitness and mobility work, I noticed many people still struggle despite exercising, attending physical therapy, or receiving a massage. This inspired me to create Roll for Fitness to help people move better and feel better. So as you can see, people are, and we sit for long periods of time in a day, we feel stiff and tight, we don't know how to stretch properly, we want to stay active as you age, and we finish physical therapy, but we still need support. Like the average physical therapy appointments, you have 12 sessions, and then that runs out. So I'm like the bridge between that and then your self-care work you do on your own. So the common comments I hear from most people is, I feel tight all the time, I don't know how to stretch correctly, and I want to stay active as I age. So I come in, is here, voila. Let's see, sorry, I'm trying to keep myself organized here. The opportunity to organize. So the biggest thing when I come in is helping you with wellness and longevity, preventative health, personalized support, and staying active for years to come. So a lot of my work is personalized. When you come see me, I do a full session. I do an hour of diagnostic. I do a walking test. Everything is done either, and sessions are conducted in my studio, in my home, in office, or in your home in Tampa. We provide specialized stretching sessions and tools for ongoing support. So I have balls that we use here for her back. This is for your spine. And then we especially work on feet because people don't work on your feet enough. People have a lot of foot problems. You name it, plantar fasciitis, bunions, you name it. So that's kind of my biggest thing I work with. So who are my customers? So anyone you can think of, say there's someone who's 55 and older, they're athletes, anyone looking to improve their mobility and their flexibility. A lot of people I've seem to find that you stretch on your own every day, but you're really just not getting enough off the basic things you're doing all the time. And so I think it's really important to recognize that you might think you're doing something for yourself, you might think you're stretching or you're working out, but you really need to protect your body and your joints, and that's where I come in. So as you can see here, the people that I work with, the girl on the left is a friend of mine. She had really bad like shoulder misalignment. As you can see that even just one or a couple sessions, she had her right shoulder was more aligned. And this is Sophia, a lady she came to see me. She's a nurse. This is about an hour, this was after an hour of working with me. We did hands-on work. I do hands-on work on your leg using balls. And so she had a really bad anterior pelvic tilt. And I see it in a lot of people, they just don't, you sit all day, but they're just not working on the alignment issues. And so she only saw me for an hour. And then Jason was an attorney that I worked with. He came to me, we had about 6 or 8 sessions, and he had really bad problems with his flexibility. As you can see, he was there, here, he was there, here. So how many of you can't touch your toes? So I really appreciate. So the reason why I love what I do is because I help people in the community and giving you better access to health and helping people discover that moving better is possible. So thank you.
Thank you for your presentation.
Thank you.
First question that we like to ask is, what can the community do for you?
Good question. I had my notes. So the biggest thing is that a lot of issues with me is that, as you can tell, my communication style, like how I get across to people and how I communicate people, whether it's introduction to members or people in the community. So if you happen to have a point of contact to someone at a 55+ community or someone that is a business that wants to bring in a speaker, whether it's a lunch and learn or it's a meeting, wanting to connect to people that are in my target market. So most of the people that I work with, that I want to work with, are not necessarily 55 and older. It could be people that work at desk jobs, people that just generally, or they live in a community and they have a community center and they want to put on a class. So and then I also have, I'm looking for connections to functional medicine doctors that don't have someone that does stretching in their practice, to any kind of golf or tennis communities in the area. I'm really looking to connect with people to play golf because it's a really big thing in Tampa, golf tournaments, doing demos, and also anything that's like a coffee shop or a place that wants to bring in a class and for the community. Just looking for exposure because I realize there are a lot of competitors in my area in Tampa that kind of do what I'm doing. And it is aligned with, say, massage therapy or chiropractic care, but I'm really just looking to align with people that would naturally connect with what I'm doing. Thanks.
Thank you so much. Please, I want to remind everybody to raise your hand. I'm going to just jump in first, and I'm going to ask, you didn't mention a price point, and I'd like you to clarify, are you focusing on one-on-one with clients, or are you doing group classes? Help us understand.
Yeah. So my price point, and then put prices on there because I wasn't sure whether it was okay to put that on the PowerPoint because when I got the template, it was like, well, can you put pricing on that? I wasn't sure. So I'm $85 an hour. That's for a session. I've done small group classes in the past. People pay in advance for those. As you can tell, you go to a workshop or you go to a class. So I've done them in the past. Getting people to come and marketing them has been the challenge because people go to classes all the time. But how I kind of think of classes and workshops in the past is everyone shows up at the same time. If you show up, you miss class. If you show up late, when you show up to yoga class, people can kind of come in as they go, but it's different. So everyone I've done it before and I'm not opposed to doing that. But yeah, I'm typically about $85 an hour for a session. That's my studio in my house. And then I do like some small group stuff.
Okay, and just real clarifying, when you do a group,
Yes.
what is the price for that?
It's between 30 to 45 a person.
Thank you. Okay, go ahead and you will be calling on everybody, so just point to the people and let them.
Sure. What's your question?
Okay, so first thing, great presentation.
Okay,
I
thank
think
you.
it's very well organized.
Okay.
One thing that I think would help us connect with you a bit more is eye contact, and
It's
you may even want to just check out Toastmasters directly after this, but take place later. I'm just saying, it
It's
like,
okay.
it helps you like,
Yeah.
like move around more and just get more comfortable on the stage.
Yeah, I understand.
So I did want to know a little more, because I feel like we can get some of this information, like how well established are you? Because you mentioned like, oh, people tell me like they have these complaints, but if we know that they're your clients, that makes a huge difference. It
Mhm.
builds trust.
So I established my business back in 2018, and I've had multiple clients over the years, and between the pandemic and then other things happen, like I'm kind of in the relaunching phase, if that makes sense. Because I really like about 6 months ago, I went through a small business development program to really relaunch my business, and I am not giving up on this. Like Stretch Labs do not own Tampa. Sorry, you need to add that in. But no, I've just like, I really wanted to, I didn't really kind of, owning a business and being a personal trainer, they're done two different things.
Yeah.
Being able to own it, but to answer your question is, so I've had people that have told me that they come see me for a session and either can afford me or they come see me once in a while and they come see me for one session and they miss out on an appointment. So it's just like, it's a paying for time. People either come see me for something and they go to something else. So I've had several clients over the years that answered your question.
Okay, yeah, I would definitely include that, right? I started in 2018. Here's how many clients I had,
Yeah,
that kind of stuff.
yeah, I've seen hundreds of clients who just don't. And I wrote a book called Stretching with Emily. I didn't put that on there.
That would totally.
Yes.
Sorry. Yeah, I just didn't. I was like, I didn't realize it was a promotional thing, and because it's 1 million cups, I didn't want to like.
Yeah, well, the other half is like,
Yeah.
can you tell us a little bit more about what makes you different from like Stretch Labs and these? other
Yeah, so my work is very personalized. Like you don't get the same thing that Sally gets. If you come to me for low back tension, you're not going to get the same thing that someone comes to me for knee problems. So I'm going to literally spend an hour working on your feet, working on your legs. I do hands-on facilitated work. It's facilitated stretching, so we're a team. So I'm helping. Like, what's your name? Sorry,
Alex.
Alex. So what do you have going on? Like, is that okay if
Yeah, lower back.
lower back hand? So I'll probably spend an hour, which sounds like a lot, but showing you like routines you can use using balls, showing you how to work on the misalignments. And then I'll give you a program, say, I'm going to recommend you today, say 3 or 4 sessions to kind of get you going. Because if you're a young person, I give you like a tune-up program, but you might not need that. Most people see me for about an hour once a week. And it seems like not a lot, like you go to massage therapy or whatnot. But what separates me is that you're not getting a cookie cutter approach and you're getting something personalized. And I send you videos in between sessions and I have a YouTube channel and I keep you engaged. Like, hey, if you have a question, you're doing an exercise at home, you're not sure what you're doing, call me if I'm not available. Like, and realize most people work during the day, they have a question about an exercise. I typically will be, hey, how do I do this? And I send people individual, I'm saying clients videos. Hey, here's a video for your feet. Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Couple of questions. Firstly, have you ever thought about maybe doing something at the wharf, the Sparkman Wharf,
Jeff.
where they have like,
Yeah, I've contacted people, but I just don't have a point of contact. I don't know.
point of
I
contact.
don't have the wellness person there.
Okay.
I've thought about it and I have the ability to reach out to the people. I just have to figure out who the person is.
Okay, that's definitely something that we could help with. And
Yeah.
also, have you thought about the VA? We have a whole health program at the VA that's very much about this type of work.
I'm open to
And
it.
there, okay, so yeah, I have your information.
No problem.
Definitely.
Happy to connect. Yep.
The Annika golf tournament is coming up this fall.
Okay.
And they're starting promotions. I don't personally have a contact into them, but that might be something worth looking into as they are getting their program together right now.
Sure. No, I just have to figure out sponsorship because that's where I'm waiting on a grant to come through because that's not cheap.
Well, no, I don't.
I know I'm saying for
sponsorship,
golf, but I'm
it's
saying
a-
that for them saying being in the tournament. The cost of it's
I don't know about being in the tournament, but you said if you were a vendor of sort and offer your service,
Yeah,
there, that might be a great place to start a
Absolutely.
conversation and.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Sure. Yeah.
Do you do your booking for classes through your website or Insta or?
I do my booking through Calendly. You just use that linking and then we set up a consultation, then we set up an appointment. I'm kind of old school. I have a Square link, that's not on my website yet. So I'm kind of old school calendar.
Sounds good,
Yeah.
works.
So you say you've worked with a nurse before, and even at, I know at my job, we got nurses that are always looking for ways to get sessions. And have you thought about looking at several health institutions such as hospitals or wellness organizations such as Grace Point to help with techs and nurses who work there to get them better with their stretching? Because I've heard it from plenty of nurses at my job. Oh, my back's out, or I've heard PCT.
I've actually been I've connections to people at TGH and well, I've been in conversations with people before. So I've no problem connecting with you and seeing how, just need a foot in the door. Cause but yeah, I'm open to doing
I think
that.
I can get a contact for you to enter in with and potentially one person that you can talk to.
Okay.
Emily, I want to congratulate you for getting up there. It's apparent that the communication style is not, you're nervous. And you did an exceptional job getting up there.
Yeah.
I would like, yeah. You said, I know that you're outgoing because when I was standing up there, you looked me right in the eye and said, I like your top. And so I want to give you feedback of either planting someone in the audience that you're comfortable making eye contact with, or just choosing people for 5 seconds, moving from person to person. You don't have to engage with what they're doing with you, but just moving your face around the room is going to give you more contact with people. And I know that that's not a company.
I'm on the spectrum, so
Yeah.
I didn't want to divulge that before.
No, but this is a safe space and
Yeah.
I think that knowing that you can put that in your marketing, your advertising. People who are on this spectrum they'll choose to support somebody else that is as well.
Yeah.
And so, the other thing, when you're trying to, and just closing it, because, you are allowing people to self-enroll with you or designate that they don't want to, even before you get there. And so you know that you're in a safe space when you're talking with people. The other thing is, when you're talking with people about, what you do, talk more about the benefits for their long-term health. You talked a lot about just a quick, I got them to touch the floor. Talk about what that means for aging healthy. Talk about that they should be able to do that at age 45, 50. These are standards that you should be able to do. And that way, for people who haven't done the research and don't know, and the algorithms aren't on their social media to tell them all the ways it was wrong, because I get that every day. You are in a healthy way explaining to them, hey, these are the things that my stretching programs help you do. You didn't mention competition in the presentation, but you mentioned it after. You said Stretch Lab doesn't own this space, and that's a really good point. Because Stretch Lab is just a company and it's a cookie cutter thing. What you're doing and offering is a step up. You are personalized, and talk about, you mentioned functional doctors. I don't really know what that means. And so getting things, I always tell people, and I don't know if you're old enough to understand this, but I tell people to Fisher price it down, meaning put it like a 3 or 4 year old, put it in terms that I'm gonna understand outside of your industry. And focus, there's a couple things you mentioned about, well, I'm not necessarily 55 and older, but you have to tell us who is your niche. Dr. Shane Smith is really good about telling people to niche down, niche until it hurts, and then niche again. Because if you have 30 seconds and I'm listening and you tell me, well, I'm 55 plus or 40 over here, I'm confused, I'm not sure who to refer you to. But if you say, I want 40 plus and older, people who are sedentary, who are sitting at an office all day or whatever, that resonates more in my head. So those are just some things that are going to help you. And I would like to offer to follow up with you after this and keep working with you to hone that skill.
Sure, Adrian. Sure.
Bouncing off what Miranda just said, and suggesting, as far as the niching goes, which Shane would like the master at, and it's helped me so much. What if, have you considered being on the spectrum, marketing directly to and making your customer, specifically the 55 and older spectrum person? Because you are going to be able to relate directly with them, and they are going to feel so much more comfortable with you because you know it.
Yeah.
And they'll pay more.
They will.
They haven't.
So I will say that I'm definitely ADHD and a little bit of that. Because I do interact with friends. Neurodivergent, because it's like we're put in this box, we're like, sorry, I'm apologizing.
It is a spectrum.
It's a spectrum.
So we all have benefited from social media telling us and making us aware, but that older 55 and plus, they didn't get that same support that we did.
No.
And they didn't feel heard.
Yeah.
And I think there's an opportunity
No,
there.
I don't disagree with her. No, I don't.
Just a comment and kind of a quick testimonial. I've known Emily since I started working here. This is her third presentation with us, and this is the best one she's done. This how I told her I was expecting a little bit of a difficulty, and then she like locked in. I was like, "What the hell was that?" We start, getting so good at that. So Emily, great job with that. And as a quick testimonial, I used to work with Emily when I used to powerlift. She showed me things like problems with my body that no one ever told me about. My feet played a big part in my lifting, and she helped me like overcome a lot of stuff. Just quick testimonial.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
You mentioned using, I'm assuming you said ball and
Yeah.
disability ball. Had you considered talking with maybe like a local sporting goods or medical equipment place for your clients to get a discount so they can get that equipment and have it?
So I have so disclosure on that. So I have patented rights. They're called Yamana balls, and I sell them at a certain rate.
Okay.
So only way I discount them is if like they're on a budget. Like I say, I sell a ball for $30 and I'll take $10 off.
Okay.
But I have certified rights to be able to sell them.
Okay.
But in terms of, I don't, if I misinterpreted your question, in terms of a medical store, in order to be able to connect with them so they can be, their customers can be aware, because it's physical therapy, they can be aware that they can use these services.
Yeah. Well, to that point, then you could say, okay, you already have this ball from the store that recommended me to you.
Yeah.
However, I have this other one and here are the benefits of this.
Yeah, I'm happy to, if you having knowing the stores like that, I'd be more than welcome to connect with them.
So, I just wanted to bounce off what Miranda was saying earlier, when she said, because I know a lot of people who are on the spectrum. I actually went to Pet Academy with kids who are on the spectrum, so. These people who are now 30 years old, 40 years old, on the spectrum, from school, from in that field, and I'm ADHD, so trust me, I know what you're going through. So, these people are great contacts out there to get to. They're willing to pay for those services, because I can see most of these students who are 30 years old, 40 years old, and they have problems where they're not being able to stretch. I've got a friend of mine, he's 33, 34, and he had a stroke when he was a kid, so he doesn't do a lot of stretching, but sometimes he does. Or my other friend who's in her 50s, she doesn't really know how to stretch, but she's in the same boat as him.
I'm gonna move along. Thank you for the story. We've got time for one more question, and while they're doing one more question, can you please put up your contact slide so people can see your contact information here? Thank you, perfect. All right, last question.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, you can.
I was just gonna ask, what does success look like for you?
Good one. Like, how many clients?
I probably, math is not my.
You don't have to map it out, like, what can someone
Roughly,
do?
I need 10 clients a week.
Okay.
That's reasonable.
Nice job.
Thank you.
All right, in between our next speaker, I want to thank all of you for coming today, but I also want to thank our organizers who give their time throughout the week to support the presenters before they get here. If you're not aware, signing up through our website to become a presenter, we give you a template of what what the presentation should look like. It's just a template. You do you. We also offer what we call a dry run, where you come in and we call it the fishbowl. And you come in front of a couple presenters and you do your presentation. We give you feedback. We give you some insights that will help you tighten up that presentation and make you feel more comfortable. Not make, allow you to be more comfortable. We've seen some tremendous turnarounds. I would like all of my organizers to raise their hand. I'm going to start over here with Tori and social media. Dr. Shane, thank you. Pam McCoy, thank you so much. I think we've had Walter's here. David and Cassidy, you're going to interact with them primarily through the application and sign up process. They're amazing. We couldn't do it without them. We've got a few that aren't here right now. Lynn is in the back on a call. Keith, you mentioned, who got a speaker here. Julia Coffee, she delivered the coffee this morning, but she had to head out. David Conraj, Josh Ray. I think I've got everybody. I appreciate all of you for making it easy for us to help our clients, the entrepreneurs. Without further ado, I'm going to introduce Chuck Davis from Legacy One LLC.
Thank you. This is my heart's beating kind of fast.
You got it.
Stage, huh?
You got it.
Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Chuck Davis, and I represent Legacy First. And before I tell you what we do or how we do it, I want to let you know who this is for. So this is for the entrepreneurs that are dedicated to building income, to improving their holistic well-being, but also building a legacy. Let's begin. So I have a question, and by a show of hands, I need to know from each of you what comes first, the chicken or the egg? By show of hands, the chicken. Okay, we got a couple with the chicken. By show of hands, the egg. Okay, all right. So we got majority. Good. And now I have another question. What comes first, your wealth or your wellness? By show of hands, your wealth. Be honest. Okay, by show of hands, your wellness. So the entire room says wellness. Fantastic. So here at Legacy First, we've identified one of the true issues is that many entrepreneurs actually are on the other side. Many dedicate themselves to building wealth, spend all their time there, but very few actually dedicate the appropriate time to also build their holistic well-being. And that means your mind, your body, and your spirit. So since we identified that problem, we sought to seek out a solution. Because what good is having all of that money? What good is having all of these resources if you don't have the appropriate wellness to go along with it? But also on the other side of the stage, what good is having all of that wellness, but if you don't have the appropriate wealth to go along with it? So it requires a balance. But again, we took a very, very intricate focus on finding how to create an ecosystem to solve that for us entrepreneurs, because we understand we are the heartbeat of every city that we go in. The city requires us to be at a certain level. They create opportunities for us so they'll be able to create employees and so on and so forth, but it starts with us. So our vision here is very simple. We believe wealth, wellness, and community are interconnected. They are not separate. We believe healthier leaders create wealthier families, and wealthier families create stronger communities. And we call this the tree of life. And by strengthening the roots, everything above it grows stronger. So our solution is called the Tree of Life Accelerator. This is a 90-day accelerator where we focus on a couple key focuses, but building income, being able to improve your wellness, but also being able to help you save a lot of time through automation and AI. And this whole opportunity is built off of two systems: our growth through acquisition system, where we help entrepreneurs identify, acquire, and scale business opportunities. But also on the wellness side, we help entrepreneurs grow by our mental reps system. And that's being able to simply help them identify habits, being able to create sustainable discipline, but also surround them in the appropriate ecosystem with accountability. And we call that our mitosis network. And that's just simply a bunch of local wellness and wealth experts who all are dedicated to you, the entrepreneur, and your well-being. Legacy First and how we found it. So this didn't start as a business idea. This actually started something deeper in my heart. About 7 years ago, my father died because of an overdose. And this was something that shook my entire family to the core. But looking back at that time, I realized that this man, he was carrying a lot, physically, emotionally, financially. And that taught me something. Success is not all about money. It's much deeper than that. It's more about who you become along the process, who you impact, but most importantly, the purpose that you represent while building that success. And a little bit about my story: I've been serving the community since the age of 14. Since then, I've accumulated well over 10,000 hours of community service hours. When it comes to investing, I bought my first real estate property at the age of 24. Since then, I've been able to scale and grow that to 12 plus properties and been able to have a successful exit of that portfolio. So this is something that didn't just come overnight. And the community that we put you inside of, the Mitosis Network, it has a variety of accredited individuals and companies. And one of them is our SBA partner. And here are a couple opportunities that they've been able to recently help a couple entrepreneurs acquire, which is one, a commercial contracting company for $8.4 million. Another one is a $3.5 million software company. And there's so many more other companies that they've been able to help entrepreneurs acquire. But this is a proven process that we want to be able to offer to our community. So as I close, I want you all to remember three things: healthy leaders create wealthier families create stronger communities. So it's much bigger than just making money, but it's more about the impact that you have along the way. Thank you so much for your time. My name is Chuck Davis, Legacy First.
You guys got question we like to ask is, what can a community do for you?
Yes. So we have a couple opportunities. Our first opportunity, we're looking for 15 individuals or entrepreneurs to participate in our growth accelerator. So that'll be the first way you can help, is either introducing me or applying yourself. I did leave a couple of documents on each table. So if you are interested, you can contact me, you can scan the QR code, or let's either way to start a conversation. The second way is to be a part of our Mitosis Network. So if you are in the health and wellness industry, or if you are in the wealth industries in some capacity, then definitely let's have a conversation, because the Mitosis Network is our heartbeat, because it is a community effort. And the last way is, if you are a business owner or you're a real estate owner and you're looking to sell your business or your real estate, then let's have that conversation as well, because we are acquiring quite readily. But those will be the three ways that you all can help us, is by either registering as an applicant, by submitting your opportunity to be a part of our Mitosis Network, or let us know that you're looking to sell your company or your business. Yes, sir.
You mentioned you want 15 candidates for this next cohort.
Yes, sir.
Be a little bit more specific. What does that ideal candidate look like for you? What's an ideal applicant?
Perfect question. So an ideal applicant, first, you would have to have at least 2 years in business. You would have to have a minimum annual income of $50,000. you have to have a certain credit score, which is a 650 or higher, because we do utilize SBA. And you do have to have the willingness to be a part of the wellness aspect of our program as well. So again, it isn't just about making money. So that is what separates us from other accelerators, is we create that holistic element of growth. So that would be our ideal participant. Yes, sir. Great question. Yes.
So we have a client who is they have a juice bar, all organic, and it just got ran into by a drunk driver. So
Are they okay?
They weren't there.
Oh,
It was
okay,
over.
all right.
It was in the middle of the night. But my point is the mitosis network, I think they would be great because they do organic, healthy juices, acai bowls, things like that. Black-owned, woman-owned business. I'd love to make that connection.
Yeah. Have that conversation.
Yeah, that was already gonna.
Yes, sir.
Is Legacy First nonprofit or for-profit?
We're a benefit corporation. So yeah, we're structured as for profit, but a huge part of our program is being able to give back to our community. Hence the reason why we do have an accelerator. But on the business side, we do exactly what we're offering our clients. So we buy businesses, we buy real estate, and we scale in that same capacity. So we're a benefit corporation in that capacity.
Okay, so tell me how you get revenue then. The follow-up
Yeah.
would be, tell me about the revenue for your company, for Legacy First.
Sure. So we acquire businesses. So right now we're acquiring SaaS-based companies, which is software-based companies, and we scale through our growth through acquisition model, the one we mentioned previously. So we buy these companies and we allow the income to be able to pour into our entity. So that's how we generate income. And then on the nonprofit or the community side, we offer obviously retainers, and we offer equity portion. So that way, again, we're continuing to earn and being able to serve at the same time.
So the applicants are a marketing funnel or a revenue stream?
They're both.
Okay.
They're both.
Okay,
Yep.
thanks.
Yep. Yes, sir.
Yeah, so I mean, actually piggybacking off of that, could you give us an idea of like pricing and like for the applicants and then kind of like what percentage you might take off of the acquisition costs of a company? And then also like throughout your presentation, I'm trying to get clarity on, is your business focused on acquisition or on automation for the people in your accelerator or for their wellness? Like, can you kind of clarify the relationship between them?
Yeah, no problem. So let me repeat your question so that way I processed it correctly. So your first question is repeat your first question.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Pricing, and when you guys do acquisition, like how much are you taking in revenue?
Yeah, so the pricing for the accelerator is $5,000 per month. That's the retainer, and then we take a 5% equity for the acquisition cost. So if we help you acquire $1 million business, again, we take 5% of that. And then on your second question, can you repeat that as well?
Yes. So I heard you discuss acquisition, automation within businesses, and wellness. Can you explain to me the relationship between those three in your business?
Yeah. So they're all interconnected. Like I mentioned previously, just because we help you acquire, but then we also help you scale by the integrations and our growth through acquisition model. But then we also provide that wellness support with fitness instructors, nutrition guide, spiritual support, and so on. So we see it as all interconnected because we believe the individual is a holistic being, right? So your mind, your body, your spirit, and that's our goal, is to be able to empower you holistically. So that's how they're connected.
Wow.
Yeah, good question. Any other?
How many people are in the accelerator right now?
Right now we have 2. We have 2 in the accelerator, so we have about 13 more slots available, but it is a first come, first served basis.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
I just got to say it, and I connected with you, but I don't want to be turned away on my business. I just started non-for-profit.
Okay.
Nonprofit, Center for Higher Learning.
Okay.
I've been a crane operator on the port 25 years.
Okay.
So I feel like the kids have no direction right now. So if you can come to the center and do something fun, guess what? You're gonna learn something too. And you can take this to any port or any crane you see, and you'll be able to be an operator. So I feel like I want to be in your program, but I don't have 2 years of business. I started in 2016, but I didn't have any help. And so it's just been a dream right now. So I'm trying to make it a reality. I need a little help.
Sure.
So I'm saying, don't turn me away because I don't have all of them.
No, so that's a great question that you brought up, and I actually have family working at the port right now. I have an uncle there, so
What's his name?
Yancey Pollock.
I know.
Yes, okay. So to your question, to your response, the direct help that I will point you to is here at the ECC because they do have the appropriate personnel to be able to support you as you go through your growth journey, right? Because we want you to be able to be at a certain sustainable space. And then we just come along and help you accelerate to that space, right?
Yes, sir.
So what I'll do is connect you to either David or one of the ECC representatives here.
All right.
And they'll be able to help you refine, but also help you to improve. So that way in a couple of years, we can grow and we can scale.
Nah, man, I don't know in a couple of years.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
Well,
Great answer.
I
work in.
yeah.
Chuck, great presentation. A little bit on the real estate owners. Are you looking for people who are already in that space, who are already buying properties, or people who want to get started?
So for the real estate piece, we're looking for people who's actually looking to sell your real estate.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and it could be single family, it could be land, or it could be commercial. So we're just looking for those owners looking to sell. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Great presentation.
Thank
I have a question regarding you mentioned something about AI. that
Yes,
you
sir.
use, inside the business. What exactly are you using it for? Or how does it get used?
Yeah. So they're the key part in the automation aspect of our scaling process, right? So many entrepreneurs are starting to use it, but most aren't, right? So since we're using a growth through acquisition model, we're using AI to help save some unnecessary costs, so to reduce the expenses.
What
right?
does that look like? Yeah.
So that looks like being able to provide AI receptionists. That looks like being able to build funnels that run automatically. So that way, again, you don't have a lot of unnecessary personnel that's doing repetitive tasks. So it's really catered to the business, but on a high level, that's what we're using AI is to be able to help improve the systems, but also to be able to help the scaling process, but for the big picture, to be able to help reduce the expenses. So that way, as you're growing and as your company is growing, the enterprise value is going up because you're no longer spending that much money on expenses.
So you're building a lean organization,
Very lean.
helping with the business process optimization and digital transformation of the organization.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Great question. Do you have a question?
So, great presentation, by the way.
Thank you.
But my question to you is, so for aspiring entrepreneurs, people who are just starting their businesses, want to know more about finance, leaving a legacy, that's something that I want to do with my business. I want to leave a legacy. If I have a family, 5 kids, I want to be able to do that family, leave that legacy for my family and have more fun. But what do you help people with their new in there to learn about financials if they don't know about financials as much, or are you able to help those people? Or do you just focus on people who are already established 2 years in there and say sorry to the people?
No, not necessarily sorry. So that's a two-part answer. So Shane mentions quite often niching. So yes, our target partner is someone that's already established. But to your point and your question, we also go into the community and provide generational wealth and wellness workshops. So I'll actually be presenting here, doing a generational wealth and workshop on the 7th of July. And we talk about strategies like that. So if you're not quite, at that 2-year marker and you just want to learn more and either knowledge about scaling, the 8th, sorry, not the 7th, the 8th of July is where I'll be presenting the workshop. But in those workshops, that's what we can provide, like additional conversation to stimulate more understanding on different strategies around leaving legacy, about building wealth, but also about building wellness. So we don't leave everyone out, but we definitely have a target market just because we figured out what works best for us.
We got time for one more question?
Okay. Yes, sir.
What do you do with the assets once you acquire them?
Is it we acquire or acquire with our partner?
Both.
Okay, so yeah, so we put them in a holding company pretty much, and the goal is to be able to help grow that enterprise to a $2 million $2 million net income or a $10 million valuation using our growth through acquisition model. But if it's with us, then obviously we have our own entity. But if it's with our partner, then we do the same thing. But that's the goal, and that's how we house it is within a holding company, so that way they can continue to
Are
acquire.
you hands-on in the operation of all these companies, or do you sort of just own it as a arm's length owner?
Well, we're at arm's length, right? But we hands-on with the entrepreneur, because the goal is to develop the entrepreneur into a more evolved person, so that way the entity will reflect that. But that's how we handle it from a holding company. But the more focus is developing the person, because again, healthier leaders create wealthier families and create stronger communities.
Great,
Wow.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chuck. One of the reasons that he is niching into that 2 years business experience is because of the SBA partnership. When you are using an SBA loan to purchase a business, you have to be able to document how your past experience is a credible way to run this business. So it doesn't have to be exactly industry to industry, but you have to be able to explain how you, if you were a crane operator and you were operating as a 1099, meaning you had your own LLC and they were paying you just 1099, not W-2s.
Yes, ma'am.
You would have to show how that experience for 2 years would translate into a potential business. Now, it wouldn't translate into a SaaS business, but it might translate into a logistics company. So you see how you have to have some type of similarity that the SBA can understand. Okay, they've experienced what this industry is going through. They've experienced the downs and ups, and they could handle it. If there is no direct translation of that experience, that's not going to be a good position. Is that correct?
Yes, but also to be able to go along with that, it's the personal development along the way, right? So it's who you become, the thing that you've learned within that time frame as an established entity or an established business owner. Because again, the big picture is making sure you're growing as well as the company's growing.
You got to walk before you can run.
Yeah.
All right.
That's true.
Yeah. Thank you very much. I would say that I would like to see you mention in your presentation, if you're doing it again, more of the questions that we asked about the holding period, the exit. Because we've had similar people do presentations here. You do have a niche with the health focus. Just make sure you're talking about the accelerator knowledge as a business owner. Make sure that you keep that in there and talk about your exit.
Okay.
And I think that you will be able to limit the questions because you will have covered it all.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Awesome. Yeah, great presentation. Thank you to both our presenters. Yep. And I want to apologize to Tori because in the absence of me going on vacation, I didn't realize you've upped and now Nonchalant Creative, her company, is now a sponsor as well. So we have 3 sponsors, and so we thank you for everything that you do. Appreciate you. And then I'm gonna just turn it over to David to talk about what's coming up.
Yep, I'm not gonna spend too much time on here. I want to make sure we get to network because we have a pretty full house today. So directly after this at 10:30 of Cigar City Toastmasters, somebody mentioned it before. But if you want to work on your public speaking skills, that's the place to do it. Then we have tomorrow at 10 a.m. Get Paid for What You Know with Dr. Shane Smith. Shane,
Sure. Get Paid for What You Know is a monthly workshop that we do at the ECC. It's a business model of taking your area of expertise, experience, etc., and bringing it online to a larger volume, higher margins, whether it's building a community, community cohorts or courses. So if you're interested in methods of doing that and resources for that, come in tomorrow.
And Shane, don't sit down just yet. on July 2nd, we have his other workshop, How to Sell When You Hate to Sell. Shane, what is that about?
Yeah, another monthly workshop that we do here. This one's my pure passion. If you are an entrepreneur, small business owner, or asked to take the reins in some capacity of selling yourself, your business, etc., many of us don't feel comfortable doing that. We end up avoiding it and missing out on great cash flow. This is a proven process and system that allows you to approach that sales conversation that is comfortable for someone maybe like you, definitely like me, introverted, socially awkward, et cetera. So, I highly encourage you to come for that.
Thank you, Shane. On Tuesday next week, we have, at 1:30, we have nonprofit leadership roundtable. That is a monthly, talking series we have here, and we have a bunch of nonprofits that come in and they want to learn more about how they can utilize their nonprofit and connect with other partners in the community. Always a great space to do that. So that's once a month, here at the center. And then there is a correction here on Wednesday, the 24th, we have Launch Your Podcast with Confidence. That is at 12 p.m., not 6. Not gonna go through the rest. If you have any questions on anything, again, you can talk to me, Cassidy, Eve, who's in our office, or Cheryl, who's up at the front. And I just want to give all right, so we have also SBDC on site. Sean back there is one of our consultants. If you have any questions on consulting, you can talk to him or Eve. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you for coming out. Please network, just because we're stopping this. We have, give it till about 10:15, 10:20 so that Toastmasters can get set up. But enjoy, connect. This is a safe space. Thank you.
You got a box there.
Yeah.
Yeah.